The year is 1905. The place is what we now call Tanzania. Villagers are awake, gathering in a silent circle, faces etched with fear, shifting to anticipation. At the center stands Kinjikitile Ngwale. He holds a simple calabash, a gourd filled with water. This is no ordinary water. It glows with an otherworldly light. People lean in, eyes fixed on the vessel. Whispers of its power, rumors of a divine message. Each person bears the scars of colonial rule. They've seen families torn apart, lands seized, traditions disrespected. German colonizers seem invincible. This misty pre-dawn moment is the beginning. A story of immense courage and profound tragedy. To understand why a promise of magical water could ignite a war, we must first understand the word before the prophecy. The arrival of the Germans brought a new, brutal order. Their rule was enforced with an iron fist, dominance and extraction. At the heart of the colonial pressure was cotton. The Germans imposed a brutal, coercive scheme: communal forced labor, state-sanctioned slavery. Every able-bodied man had to spend time planting, weeding, harvesting. The work was grueling and relentless. They used whips made from hippopotamus, the kiboko. The crack of the whip became common in the fields. The cotton scheme wasn't meant to coexist with traditional farming. Food production plummeted while people were forced to grow a crop they couldn't eat. In the midst of this widespread suffering, a man emerged. His name was Kinjikitile Ngwale. One day, he simply disappeared from his village. His family searched, fearing he had been taken by a crocodile or met misfortune in the dense bush. Days turned into a week, and hope began to fade. Then, just as suddenly as he had vanished, he reappeared, but he was a changed man. Kinjikitile claimed he had been taken by a spirit, pulled into the depths of the Rufiji River, into a spiritual realm where he communed with the gods. It was there that he was possessed by a powerful serpent spirit named Hongo, a manifestation of a greater universal God who had taken notice of the people's suffering. This profound spiritual experience transformed him. He returned with new authority and a powerful sense of purpose. Kinjikitile raises the calabash for all to see. The water inside shimmers with strange light. He tells them this Maji is not just water, it is a powerful medicine, a divine protection. He tells them if they anoint themselves with this sacred water, the German soldiers' bullets will turn to water. The deadly projectiles will become harmless drops against their skin. For a people who felt utterly powerless, the promise was intoxicating, not just a battle tactic, a spiritual awakening, a way to reclaim dignity and agency. In late July 1905, the simmering pot of rebellion finally boiled over. The first overt act of war took place in the Matumbi Hills. A group of Maji warriors, bodies anointed with sacred water, decided to act. They marched to a colonial plantation and uprooted the cotton plants, burning the fields to the ground. On July 31st, a band of Matumbi warriors attacked a trading post at Samanga. They were armed with spears, arrows, and an unshakable belief that German bullets would be harmless. The rebellion was no longer secret, it was open and violent conflict. The news spread with incredible speed, acting as a signal for other groups to rise up. One of the most significant early victories came with the attack on Kilwaki Winje. A large force of warriors, united under the banner of Maji, descended on the town and seized control. The initial attacks were characterized by ferocious bravery. The warriors went into battle chanting, singing, convinced the spirits of their ancestors were fighting alongside them. This was the moment of the deadly twist. Maji warriors, bodies wet with sacred water, charging toward German lines, expecting bullets to become drops of water. Then, the German machine guns opened fire. Result, a massacre. Bullets did not turn to water. They tore through flesh and bone. Warriors cut down by the hundreds, sometimes thousands, spears and shields lying uselessly beside them on blood-soaked ground. The psychological impact was catastrophic. Imagine a warrior who had seen the rituals, taken the oath, believed the prophecy, then sees his brothers, friends, relatives slaughtered by weapons that should have been powerless. Faith shattered in an instant. The promise was a lie. Ancestors did not protect them. Beginning of the end for conventional rebellion. Crisis of faith ensued. Some questioned the prophecy. Others sought reasons for failure. Whatever the reason, unshakable confidence was gone, replaced by doubt and fear. Faced with potential loss of their colony, the German government responded. In late 1905, reinforcements began arriving. Seasoned veterans equipped with the latest military technology, including multiple machine guns. The new German strategy was not about re-establishing control. It was a war of annihilation, a campaign of terror designed to break the will of the entire population. The machine gun became the central instrument of German policy, allowing a small number of soldiers to kill a large number of people with terrifying efficiency. Governor von Goetzen implemented a deliberate scorched earth policy. German columns marched with a single mission: to create a famine by systematically burning villages and destroying food stores. This was a calculated, man-made famine. The lush, productive landscapes of southern Tanzania were transformed into a desolate, smoking wasteland. People faced a new, more insidious enemy: starvation. The human suffering was unimaginable. People hid in the bush, trying to survive on wild roots, insects, and leaves. Disease swept through the starving population. So why did they believe? Why did so many people put their faith in a promise that seemed so fantastical? To dismiss it as simple superstition is to miss the point entirely. The belief in the Maji was not irrational. It was a deeply rational response to an irrational situation. The people were trapped in brutal oppression from which there was no logical escape. The prophecy offered them the only thing they had left: hope. The Maji was more than just a magical potion. It was a powerful symbol of unity and a catalyst for psychological transformation. It gave diverse and sometimes rival groups a common identity and shared purpose. It turned feelings of powerlessness and fear into courage and collective action. Believing in the Maji was an act of defiance, a rejection of the colonial worldview that deemed them inferior. It was a declaration that their spiritual power was greater than the material power of the German rifle. In a world stripped of dignity, the belief provided renewed agency and honor, allowing them to fight not as victims but as warriors in a sacred cause. The Maji Maji Rebellion was ultimately crushed. By 1907, the death toll was immense. Historians estimate between 250,000 and 300,000 people died, mostly from the brutal, man-made famine. The land was left depopulated, the society shattered. The promise of liberation had ended in the landscape of death. The story is a powerful reminder of what happens when people are pushed to the absolute brink. It demonstrates that hope can be a weapon and faith can mobilize thousands and challenge empires. The rebellion's legacy is far from failure. It was the first time so many ethnic groups joined together to fight a common enemy, creating a precedent for the shared territorial identity that will lead to modern Tanzania. Today, the story is a cornerstone of Tanzanian national history. Kinjikitile Ngwale is remembered not as a failed magician, but as a national hero who united his people and inspired them to fight for dignity and land. His prophecy may have been wrong, but his spirit of resistance continues to inspire. The failure of the water to stop bullets does not diminish the courage of those who fought. The echoes of the Maji Maji Rebellion call on us to remember. We must remember the hundreds of thousands of lives lost, not just to bullets, but to calculated starvation. We must remember the courage of people who chose to fight back against overwhelming force. The story of the sacred water is a testament to the enduring power of hope and the unbreakable spirit of those who refuse to be subjugated. It is a vital chapter in the long, painful, and heroic struggle for African liberation. If this story moved you, subscribe to Dark History File for more untold stories of courage and resistance from history's shadows. Share your thoughts in the comments. What other forgotten rebellions should we explore? Your engagement helps us bring these important stories to light. Until next time, remember, history's greatest lessons often come from its darkest chapters.